I wish this event had never happened. Honestly, the event's not bad itself. It's like, so for those of you who haven't been playing Animal Crossing, it's a sim game. It's just a sim life game, and they put this Easter event in there. And normally, the extent of what you do is you fish and you catch bugs and you
Mhm.
build stuff, and that's about it. That sounds boring, but it's extremely chill. So now, half the time when you catch a fish, it's an egg. And half the time when you dig up something, it's an egg. And you'll hit a tree, and oh, there's an egg. And the
You
drop
hit a
rate,
rock. And there's yeah,
yeah, the drop rate,
everything.
even though they nerfed it, which they
Yeah.
actually did patch it a couple days ago, is still terrible. So I like catching fish. I don't like
hmm
catching eggs. I've literally either been eating the eggs or selling them. I have not made a single piece of egg furniture in protest.
I made one thing. I made one thing because I don't have a good bed, so I made it. I made the
There
egg
you
day
go.
bed, and that's it. I mean, the rest of my house has no egg stuff in it. I was saving them just in case,
Yeah.
but I don't think. Then I thought, why am I saving these things? So then like you said, I ate them or sold them. No reason to keep them. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Vanessa in the chat, she says she's playing Stardew Valley, which I could totally like. There's this thing
Yes.
where ever since I fell in love with Animal Crossing, my wife keeps trying to get me to play Stardew Valley, which she played through a couple years ago now at this point, and so I might pick it up
Yeah.
sometime. It seems like another good game for
Let's show.
Switch, but basically I didn't want to start anything new, and
hmm
Animal Crossing is really easy to jump in and out of because Final Fantasy VII comes out at
Of course.
11 p.m. tonight, or 12
Yep.
p.m.
Yep.
Or 12 a.m. Eastern.
Yep, which I'm irritated as I think as you have been and other people that people have early copies. People in Australia and other places have been playing it for like almost a week,
Yeah.
and it's which I just really am irritated about.
Is this the final trailer?
This is the final trailer,
Oh,
by the
I'm not
way.
gonna
I don't know
watch
if
the screen. Yeah, I'm not watching
I
the screen. Get
apologize.
this thing off me.
I
There we go. I
apologize.
blocked.
I
Yep,
didn't
I
think that
blocked it.
you blocked it. Okay, so the final trailer being played, it didn't really have a lot. I mean, there's some good stuff in it, but I apologize. I didn't even think about you not watching the trailer parts, but both of us are extremely excited about this event coming up. I'll pop back, by the way. Come back to looking at my face. Both of us are really excited about Final Fantasy VII coming out. You've got digital ready. I'm waiting for my collector's edition. I'm going to do an unboxing
Yeah,
because I have to.
that statue looks dope.
Yeah,
Or action figure. What?
Action
It's
figure.
big enough to be a statue, dude.
Well,
Whenever
I
you were
mean,
like, it's an action figure, and I've seen it. It
it's
is
posable.
chunky. It's beefy.
Yeah, but it's posable. Like he is a
Yeah.
posable figurine who goes in onto the So call it whatever you want. They call it action figure. It's a posable figure, whatever. It's a collector's item. It's a collector's piece. The Barrett one looks amazing too. I don't know if you've seen that.
I have not.
Looks really,
I
really
didn't realize
cool.
they made any additional figures.
I've only seen the two.
Okay.
I've seen pictures of Barrett, and it's been sold out everywhere. But now and that one I think was going for like 120. Like that's the retail price.
I mean, I'd be shocked if they didn't do an Aris and a Tifa.
Oh yeah,
as well to go.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I'm like, I think I need an Aris. I may need Tifa, but like, I don't know. Aris is my girl.
Tifa's best girl. Yeah,
Of course. I know. And you know what? I know like the reason for the story and everything. We're not going to give anything away here because for those who are going to experience the remake for themselves, I was all in on Eris, like completely all in on her, and not understanding like the full scope of everything. So I think it'll be a little more clear in this version. What they're trying to, I thought it was kind of a love triangle thing, and it really wasn't. That was me just kind of doing some implying.
No, because they're friends. That was what the cool thing was between Tifa and Cloud, was that it was like a friendship, and maybe it was like a high school crush thing, but no, it kind of wasn't about that later.
Yeah, well, it's like it's a multifaceted relationship in a video game when there's a lot of multifaceted relationships and I don't know. I just absolutely love the emotion that I'd never had a game move me like this game moved me. I think that's why it holds a special place in my heart. Previous to this, it was fight things, rescue people, whatever. And this game just had such gravity to it. It was just amazing.
Obviously, we're gonna go way more in depth to it next week. And then Kevin was in the chat, and he says he's been playing
Mhm.
Erica, which I played through that when it initially came out. I only did one playthrough though.
Mhm.
It's just like slightly on the side of too. It's not creepy. It's just I don't
Yeah.
know. It's too intense for me. But I know there's like 10 or 11 different endings or something insane like that. But
Yeah.
it's a super interesting concept playing through the phone. I don't know if you did that.
Yeah, yeah. No, I thought it was great. I played through it once. I need to play through it again. I may do that tomorrow. I'm off tomorrow, and I'm really excited because apparently I didn't even realize until like Monday that tomorrow's Black Friday. So I was like, cool, I get a day
Black
off.
Friday,
Yeah,
Good
not
Friday.
Black Friday. Close enough. Good Friday. Whatever. One of these
Close.
things. Both things I don't really deal with and like celebrate. So oh well.
No, they surprised my wife with it too. I think like
That's
yesterday
fantastic.
they were
Yeah.
like, "Hey, guess what? We're just not gonna come in on Friday. That's cool." So good. Yeah. So we're gonna hang out tomorrow. I'll probably get into Final Fantasy VII after the kid goes to bed, so that's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
I'm excited that the time. I don't know if you saw how long it is. Do you want to know how long it is?
Yeah, I was gonna guess was it 36, 40.
It's 35 is the is
Okay.
what people are saying.
Okay. Yeah, I figured. And well, the way that I play, and the way if I'm planning on the wife playing, and if that happens, she plays a little like intends to play a little long, which I'm fine with. But I kind of want her to play because I want her to experience the story, and I'm gonna enjoy it even if I'm watching it. So I'm gonna play it as well. I'll have like another, another save for myself or what have you. But like I kind of want to like her to go all in on it and experience it because I think this is going to be the first Final Fantasy that she like really enjoyed. She didn't like 15 as much, and I think that she's really gonna like this one.
Well, in this game, I'm gonna go into like every nook and cranny. So who
Oh yeah,
knows like how long? Like I even did it in the demo. Like every time
you
I
want to
like
compare,
like
right?
somebody's yelling at me to come this direction. I'm like, there's clearly a hallway that I can walk down. I bet there's a box down there with some stuff in it. I'm gonna go break that box. I'll be back
Yep.
in a second. You shh, just leave
Yep.
me alone, Jesse or whoever was yelling at me.
Yeah, that's what Whitney does. Like, and like if she watches me play games, if I'm not doing that, like she points it out. She's like backseat drives it. Like, not that it doesn't irritate me or anything, but it's like she has to check everything and she has to check everything. And with this game I'm going to be checking, but I'm just want to explore. I want to compare this is a fleshed out world. It's a world that you and I have dove into multiple times, dived into, whatever, sorry,
Dove
multiple times,
into
dove into.
what's the plural of dive?
I think it's dived.
Dovin, divin. I don't
Let
know.
us know in the comments. Pretty sure
Whatever.
it's dived. But like we've been here so many times. We've seen different iterations of it, but I feel like this is the ultimate version of Midgar and the ultimate version of these characters. So I'm very excited.
So
Very
Kevin's
excited.
asking what the mini game is going to be for Midgar. I'm not going to spoil that for you. I already know what the mini game is going to be. So because it's a part of the original game that they've expanded upon. So
Yeah.
uh, you'll love it though whenever you get to it. So I know what it is, but I'm not going to speculate because
Yeah.
that would
Of
be
course.
a
Yeah.
spoiler.
Yeah.
But it's a
Kevin
cool.
hasn't played
Unless there's an additional mini game, which again I would know what that one is too.
it. Mhm.
Assuming there's definitely two mini game type things that are going to happen.
Yeah.
Um, Unless so anything that they've added, I have no idea because they've added other sectors that you didn't get to previously explore, from what I can tell.
I
So
and that's why I'm excited about it. That's why I'm so excited about this game because I feel because they were limited by the space, by the scope of the story that they were telling. That they didn't get to explore this city as much, and we actually get to explore it more. So I'm really happy about that. Um, Pivoting to other news because we could just talk about Final Fantasy VII for
that's
like a whole.
pivoting to the news. Period.
Pivoting to the news because yeah, apparently Cooking Mama Cookstar was going to be a thing. I didn't even know this was going to come out.
Oh,
Uh,
really?
yeah, so being pulled, the rumor was for for essentially blockchain or data collection via cryptocurrency, and that was the rumor at least. Which the developer said that no, there certainly wasn't any of that, and even more so. like the other article that you found. Thank you so much for that, Owen.
Yeah.
Developer comments on this were even better because thinking about the cryptocurrency, I was thinking that doesn't seem like something
Would
that
even be
would even be,
possible.
would even be possible. And then the
Yeah.
I'll let you take over what the developer said.
Yeah, so they basically like the game got launched apparently where like it wasn't even supposed to like launch. It just got put on the shop.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, "So all that cryptocurrency stuff is not true. The head of like the publisher knows this, and there's just some weird like language, but that would they blamed basically that the game was made in Unity, which is kind of, if you don't know what Unity is, it's like Unreal. It's just another gaming thing.
Mhm.
But they basically said like they torched everybody who worked on this game. They're like, it was made by a bunch of people who had never worked on a game before. It's not a great product, but it probably did fine. There is no crypto mining stuff, and I doubt anybody like would be even like capable. Basically, like threw every person who worked on this game
Yeah.
under the bus.
That was the
Uh,
It was hilarious. I was reading through it like I can't believe someone said that because that's stuff that you say to your coworkers, right? Where
yeah,
you're like, "Geez, I can't believe blah blah blah." Like that's the kind of stuff that people just in any industry and anywhere you talk to your coworkers that way. And you don't say anything like that to the public. Wow.
and then they
I
threw the
don't.
publisher out there where they were like, "We
Yeah.
knew it was coming out in March, but after that, they don't tell us anything." It was just this totally weird like commentary from this person who worked on it, where they just said it was completely effed up, but they said that the game like functions well enough to where it probably would have been fine if they left it, but who knows if we will ever see it ever again.
Yeah, yeah. I hope that we do because I actually thought I think the Cooking Mama stuff is fun. It's chill. It works. I mean, and Nintendo Switch lends itself really well to these types of titles. I liked it on 3DS. It was like I said, it was fun. It's simple. Um, and straightforward, and I think it appeals to a very wide demographic of people. So I hope we get it eventually.
Yeah.
But it is funny to hear a developer like basically be like, look, nobody really knows what like they barely made this thing. It's not going to cryptocurrency. We barely made this thing run. It crashes all the time. Like I thought that was hilarious.
Whenever they said that, that was
Um,
ridiculous. Like for anybody who doesn't know anything about crypto mining and
mhm.
so on, like it takes an incredible amount of like graphics power. That's
Yeah.
why like graphics cards were so expensive for a couple of years, is because there was
Mhm.
just no because everybody who was crypto mining was buying them. There's no way that the Switch could do it. That card in there is nothing.
Yeah.
It's not a POS card, but it barely runs certain games at 720, so
Yeah.
it would
Yeah.
not be able to handle any type of crypto mining.
Yeah. I mean, I have what was a decent card like I got 3 years ago,
Yeah,
and if I tried to run to like be like I'm gonna mine some Bitcoin with it. Let's see, and then I did the calculations on like how much it was gonna cost, how many Bitcoins based on the cost, based on the energy, and I realized that I was barely gonna make any money versus the energy that my computer actually that it takes to run my computer. So I just stopped. It doesn't make any sense for someone unless you have a farm at that point. And again, that's a lot of money to invest in something that may or may not make you money. So
yeah,
yeah, it's not worth it, and it's definitely not going to work on not going to happen on the Switch. Switch would not be, even if you got 10,000 of them to all mine at the same time. It's not going to help. It's not going to help. Other things that aren't coming out, The Last of Us 2 being delayed and delayed. Yeah,
that
you're
was so
welcome.
sad sounding.
I know. Well, The Last of Us 2 Part 2 got removed from the PlayStation Store. This is leading a lot of people to speculate that they're going to hold it off until the PS5 launch. But it could be just because they don't know the release date. We don't know that. Obviously the release window is pushed because we've gone into indefinite delay at this point.
Yeah,
I don't think it would be a bad idea to delay it and put it on PS5. I know that a lot of people would be unhappy about it. I know, but at the same time, that this may lead us to believe that it's going to be delayed until say next spring or so. And if it's delayed that far, I'm just saying like either I'm thinking December or to spring. If it gets delayed that much, PS5. Come on. I mean, I'm probably going to play it on my PS5 anyways. Don't tell me it's not. And we know it's going to be playable.
I mean, the thing about it is the PS5 is backwards compatible,
Hmm.
regardless it's coming out on PS5. I don't
Yeah.
think that this. I don't think that Sony would play that kind of move. I think the only thing that would force that to happen is if by some chance
Hmm.
the production can't, like, because it all comes down to printing discs, and if they can't do that, then okay, maybe. But anybody who's saying that Sony is just doing this on purpose
No.
to delay it towards PS5, that's not even feasible to me. You know how many how many pre-orders they've probably, like, we're talking about a game that was probably going to sell upwards of 15 to 20 million copies. Probably, if I was going to, like, this is pure speculation on my part. I have
Sure.
no idea, but let's say at least 1 million pre-orders for physical copies,
At
not even
least.
counting the people who are doing digital pre-orders. There's no way that Sony is doing this on purpose and is going to
Yeah.
delay it until PS5 on purpose. The only reason that would happen is if they can't get discs printed before then. But no,
Sure.
this is supposed to swan their PS4 out. So I don't, and I left out the word swan song, their PS4 out. But
That was a good combination.
there's just no way that I think that that's going to happen. I think it's more likely that PS5 gets delayed, and then maybe we
Yeah.
see Last of Us in November for a Christmas type release. I think that that's definitely possible.
Sure.
There were some people online that speculated, like people that are smarter than us, that the reason that it got removed is because the PlayStation Store requires release windows, and since there isn't a release window, that's why it was removed. But Sony
Sounds.
owns the store, so I'm sure if they wanted to leave it up there, they could. Maybe they're following their own rules. It's really, really hard to say.
Yeah, I mean that sounds more plausible. I was just saying if it is delayed, um, but with its previous release date was in May, so we're very close to it.
Yeah,
So pushing it to July if they have to, like you said about physical releases and everything. But
I'm
I
one.
agree.
I'm
Mhm.
wondering when they say anything about Ghost of Tsushima, because that's another. That's a game that's definitely not nearly as pre-ordered,
July, right?
not nearly. No, June, because
June. Oh, that's
it
right.
was Final Fantasy April, Last of Us May, Ghost of Tsushima June. So are they willing to digitally release Ghost of Tsushima when they're not willing to do that with Last of Us? I think that would be a slap in the face to Sucker Punch.
Sucker
But
Punch. Yeah.
I bet we're gonna hear about that. Like, if they completely removed The Last of Us a month out, that means we're probably gonna hear about Ghost of Tsushima in a couple weeks unless things
Yeah.
change.
I'm wondering if they feel like they'll be able to get the physical discs out for Ghost of Tsushima. I don't know. I feel like that may be part of it, but if they have to go digital only, that would be, or digital for like digital first, something to that effect. That would be heartbreaking for some people who are physical purists, or this is their game that they really want as a their steelbook or what have you of it. Um, yeah, I don't know, but just I'm not trying to be too down here, but we have more. It's just
It's
keeps going
cascading.
down. It is. It is. So we did get confirmation. ESA says they're not going to be holding a digital E3, but they are going to work with companies to help them produce their own individual streams. That is a digital E3. Whether or not they're doing it all streaming together, it is maybe a week event of I mean, maybe it's going to be because it's loosely connected. They may or may not release all in the same week. But I texted you earlier this week. I'm like, I was excited to do a bunch of content for this, and I'm probably
Yeah.
still going to be ready to do a bunch of content because I feel like developers are still going to use that window to, as a unofficial launch vehicle.
Not everybody. I actually heard about it today. I didn't get to put a chance to put it in here. Bethesda said they're just not going to do anything. They went from they were going to have a conference as they have the past few
Mhm.
years, and they're just not going to do anything, even in a digital capacity. Um, So that's Bethesda that's out. Microsoft has already said that they will. I don't think EA has committed to anything as of yet. Nintendo can do whatever they want because they always do directs anyway. And then Sony had no intention of being there, as they had already pulled out a long time
Sure.
ago, last year even. So who knows if anything happens like that week? That's the
Yeah.
weird part
Mhm.
that
And I hope
we
Devolver
fall
does.
into.
Yeah, I hope Devolver does. That's why I had to cue them up in the video here. I'm hoping certain companies still take it to be around that window to launch to use that
Breath
because
of the
those.
Wild too.
Yes, please. We're waiting. This is our Super Bowl. This is our Super Bowl every single year, and we want gaming news that time. That is when everything new. Like if you're waiting, that's when you announce it. I know this is changing times, and Bethesda not doing a conference is very Bethesda because Bethesda can announce a game. Like they could come out next week and say, the new what's the new Stargazer? No, it's not called Stargazer, the new sci-fi one that they were going to do. They said it's
Yeah,
before Elder Scrolls. They could be like, "Hey, that's going to come out in June. Look forward to it. Here's a."
and
They
it wasn't
could do
going to.
that.
That's why they're not going to have an event, is because they have nothing.
You don't think?
No, I think that they were going to have like some weak stuff involving like Fallout 76. Be
The
like,
new
hey,
Doom just
thanks
came
for
out.
playing Doom. Like here,
Yep.
maybe you can have, I don't know, Doom DLC if there would be any. But thanks for playing Doom. It was
Mhm.
awesome. You guys did great at buying it. Well, here's like Machine Games putting up a Wolfenstein banner. Elder Scrolls 6 is going to come out in 2027. Like, I don't think that they had anything to begin with. I
I
think it
could
would have
see
been as
some.
bad as last year's conference. So,
I could see that they would dive into. They would maybe not dive into, but a trailer for that new one, which is this is bugging me that I can't remember this now. It's Star something.
I don't know, Star
But
something.
Starfield.
Bethesda.
So Starfield to be like, here's the Starfield trailer, and here's an Elder Scrolls teaser, and of course they would draw that out over an hour, and you get to see Todd Howard's fashion. Like that's the only reason that I
You mean
that
a leather jacket?
yeah, awesome leather jackets, awesome shoes, wearing some Alan Edmonds over there. Like that was one of my favorite parts of it, at least because I'm just weird like that. But I wanted to see some new Bethesda because I'm holding out for Bethesda to do something good, and I know that is because I haven't played a good Bethesda game since Skyrim, and every version of Skyrim and everything else they've just been coasting since then. Doom
Well,
was okay. I didn't play the new Doom, but the
I was about
last
to
Doom
say
was
that
okay.
it was great. I mean, even if it's not your thing, like it was
Yeah.
obvious that it was an awesome game. I'm not, even though Bethesda publishes id games, I'm not
Yes.
going to lump id in with my
Sure.
bashing of Bethesda, because id is a fantastic studio. Doom is a great like game. It's not always for me, but great
Sure.
soundtracks, plays great, game plays great. The Machine Games, the people who make Wolfenstein,
Yeah.
the last Wolfenstein, I don't even know if they did it, the $30 one, but Wolfenstein 1 and 2, both
Yeah.
great games. It's Bethesda proper, the Bethesda studio that
Mhm.
I love to rag on, because
Yeah.
they have not made a good game in quite some time.
Well, yeah. I mean, I like Fallout, but then I played Fallout New Vegas, which is not Bethesda Studio. It's Obsidian, and
Yeah,
then and I was like, this is amazing. And then I played Fallout 3, and this is not as good. And then I played Skyrim before all those, but
yeah.
then like Fallout 76 just does not do it for me. And then playing Outer Worlds, like I was like, oh, this is good, and it's not Bethesda. So I feel like
It's
what
great.
people think of Bethesda, what they enjoy of Bethesda, for the most part, is not Bethesda, as you were articulating there with the different studios.
So let's play
Yeah,
this game then. Who has a digital? Not counting Nintendo, because I think Nintendo's a lock. I think that they always do something during E3
yeah,
anyway.
yeah,
So we have Bethesda, who already said no.
yeah.
Microsoft has already said yes. So that leaves Square,
Uh-huh.
Ubi,
Uh-huh.
Warner Brothers said that this was going to be their first year ever doing it. They wanted to host a conference this year. Um,
That could be cool.
yeah. Do we see anything from Ubisoft this summer?
I think we'll see something from Ubi. It won't be as big, but we'll see something from Ubi. And we'll I mean the question is, will we see stuff for like from Activision?
Okay.
Like
Okay.
that.
There's Activision Blizzard in there. Do we see anything from EA this summer?
Oh, see, so I think EA is going to do it because they're going to have to put out some sport. They always put out their new sports game, their new sports stuff, and they
Sure.
have to drum up. They have to drum up the hype for that. So I think we're going to see it for EA. Um, I think the
Do
question is, will it all be sports? Will it be
Yeah.
just
Okay.
all in on sports? That's my question. Yeah.
Do we get the Warner Brothers presentation that they were going to do, or do they just start dripping things out? Because
Ooh.
Rocksteady is going to make a game. Like, that's going to happen. We already
Yeah.
know that there's a Batman game not made by Rocksteady in the works. There is some stuff there. Do they do it all in one big, like, blowout on Twitch, or do they just kind of drip that out? Because they've never done a conference before.
Yeah, it that could be anybody's game at that point. It would be very 2020, if you will, to just drop some breadcrumbs and then do like a mini show, but for it to be more about like, hey, look, you kind of to purposely leak them, or just trailer drop, like be like, hey, our presentation is going to be at 6 p.m. and not at like 8 a.m. The trailer drops that was part of the presentation, and they're like, hey, I hope you guys enjoyed that little gift. Like, I could see something like that. Like, that would be really cool for them to do. I still think they would do some type of presentation of product. Not that it's going to be similar to Devolver. I think it's going to be similar to like Nintendo, where we get to see like a bunch of clips, maybe a little bit of some. I don't know anybody from Warner. I realize that now as I'm thinking about like different
Rocksteady.
people that I was like, oh, we could have that guy. Wait, I don't know who that guy would be.
Yeah.
So that could be interesting. We could see another Reggie pop up. That'd
Do
be
we
fun.
get a Devolver e-conference?
Devolver has to.
I hope so.
I really do.
I don't care if it's that week or not. Like, they need to. I need it. I need, like, they're so funny. I have to
Yeah.
have that kind of weird, gross comedy that they do. Like, if that doesn't happen this summer, that's super sad. The only ones I'm for sure about are the people who've said anything. EA can drop a sports game and still sell millions of copies. They don't care, unless they have like Jedi Fallen Order 2 to show, which is too soon for
Way
that
too
to
soon.
happen. Like, let Respawn do their thing. Do not rush Respawn, EA. Don't do it. BioWare could have dropped their Anthem rebuild, but if that's not ready, then they don't have to do that anymore. So, like, they don't have to do a conference to show Madden and FIFA, because people are always going to buy Madden and FIFA.
Yeah.
I hope that we still get Ubisoft. I always love they've never, obviously none of these companies other than Nintendo has done one of these before, but Ubisoft always brings it. There's always some interesting stuff in
Sure.
there, and I need to see Just Dance 2021 on Wii. I need to see
On,
that happening.
on
So,
Wii, just keep it going. Keep
yeah,
it going. Everything, it just keeps going to Wii. It's the only game. There are other people who've put out some games. It's like random indies, but yeah, keep the Wii going. You know what? I haven't had a Wii. I realized like I swapped my Wii for my Wii U because it's backwards compatible. Do you still have a Wii?
no, just my Wii U.
Yeah. As soon as I realized it was backwards compatible, I'm like, I'll just have a Wii U, and I tested it. I made sure because I know it said it, but I'm like, you know what? I'm that kind of OCD person that I have to have it. I have to play it, and then I'm like, okay, this is fine. Similarly, we just bought a trailer hitch for the RAV4, and I installed the trailer hitch, and Whitney mistook that for I bought a trailer hitch and a bike rack, and I was like, no, I wanted to buy the trailer hitch and install it, and once I know that's good, then I'll get a bike rack. Like, I'm OCD about that because I'm like, I don't
You
want
got
to
a
return
RAV4
it.
too?
Yeah, we got a RAV4. I didn't tell you about that. We
We
have
have
the
the same
same
car?
year RAV4,
We have a 2018.
2018.
Okay,
Yeah,
cute.
yeah.
Good job,
I love
us. I
Yeah,
guess
exactly, right? Exactly, yeah,
color's
I
yours.
thought I messed you about that. What's that?
What color's yours?
Silver.
Mine's silver too.
I know,
Do we have the
I know.
same car?
We have the
Do you
same
have
car.
the XLE?
Oh, I can't remember. I'll have to
Oh,
double check.
all right.
I can't remember. Like,
That'd be so
yeah,
funny.
I thought I commented about that when you posted your you getting your new car. So as you probably don't have one on yours, mine didn't have a trailer hitch. So
No, I have the luggage rack on top that came with it, but it does not have a trailer hitch now.
yeah, if it's the luggage rack that I have,
I mean, it came with it. I didn't ask
it's
for it.
there. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's there. It's not like a oh, this is really quality. It's like, oh no, that's the same paint job as the car, and I don't want to scratch it.
No, it's black.
Okay, never
It
mind.
was
Okay,
like,
you may have a mod part from.
they said it was like $1,000 rack or something that came with it.
Okay, never mind.
I'm not going to be using it anyway. I bought the car for the 28 cubic feet of trunk space, so it's just gonna
Oh yeah,
go
yeah.
back there.
Oh yeah. Well, no, Whitney was like, so we're doing like different events and stuff. We'll promise we'll go back to talk about gaming and
Keep
stuff.
your heart out, car talk.
Yeah, that's right. So we do. I miss that show. But we got it, and like we've been doing like events because for those of you who don't know, my wife is a mermaid, and she does like birthday parties and other events, and like we're bringing her around in it, and she was thinking about trading it up, and I'm like, you don't need to trade it. Like it's a great car. It's not old. We've had it for 2 years. And I'm like, you haven't had the car for very long. Like it, I was telling her about the financials, like, and I was like, not that I don't want to have a new car because new cars are great. But, and then she was like looking at like the space and like the other cars that she would have gotten. And she was like, I don't think I can fit everything in these. Like this car, the RAV4 has so much space. So the
and
ones
they
that
knocked off like 10 into the 2019 model too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So we were really. I mean, that's why she was like, she was like, I don't. And then I talked her into. Yeah. Anyways, we talked about it because there's like a pros and cons list, right? We like listing it out, like why do we want it?
Did you get out a yellow legal pad? Please tell me there's a yellow legal pad involved with your pros.
No, but I really wanted to.
Okay.
I really wanted to.
Next time that there's a pros and cons list, if there's not a yellow legal pad, it doesn't count.
It doesn't count. Yeah.
It has
Yeah.
to
But
be on a yellow legal pad.
it was a good conversation, like of where like it was definitely something she was wanting more than needing. I was like, we're in a situation where we don't really need it. The car, yeah, every dealer's trying to sell cars right now, sure, but do we need to do it? And part of me wanted one as well, but I was like, you know what, I have my car, you have your car. Anyways, talking about some gaming again, we'll pivot because we just go on tangents. Sony finally gave us some PS5. Finally gave us some PS5. Well, kind of.
Yeah.
The DualSense. The not the DS5, but the DualSense. I don't hate it. It looks like something that someone would mock up to compare a mock PlayStation version of the Xbox 360 controller. That's the first thing that I thought with the curvature.
Yeah.
Was like, this looks
curves, baby.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm not against it. It's just so different. It is so different than the previous model. Someone put I should have grabbed the image for it, but I didn't get a chance to. Someone did an image of every version of the PlayStation and the evolution of the controller, and then it just jumps. It's almost like it's like jumping into something out of Star Trek, like from what we've been doing. It's so much more of a futuristic style design. What do you think?
I don't like white controllers. That said, whenever people started doing mock-ups, which immediately happened, bless the internet. Which obviously PlayStation is going to have multiple color controllers. They always do. But the fact that the launch one is this color leads me to believe that the console's white. I think that the console is going to be white, and I haven't seen anybody talk about that. I think that the console is going to be white.
Exclusive.
You heard it here first. It's going to be white. I don't like white controllers because they get dirty. Like, I wash my hands and everything, but it's the same reason why I don't like white cars. Taking back to the car talk, we had that when we were shopping for cars. I don't like white things. I don't like owning white stuff because it just naturally gets dirty. I like the fact that it's shaped like the
Mhm.
Xbox controller, which I know a lot of people are saying, and they're just like, they just stole Xbox. I'm like, they didn't steal it. It's not like Xbox came up with like the super ergonomic controller or anything. There was third parties that were doing that kind of stuff long before them. But
I meant Xbox One. I don't
um,
know why I said Xbox 360 controller. I meant the white Xbox One controllers. Yeah.
uh, I liked that they took the curves but left the sticks, because I do
Yes.
not like offset sticks. That's my least favorite thing about the Xbox controller is the offset stick. I like the D-pad being up here, and I like my sticks being down here. I think that there's a lot of potential for the dual tone. I really, really, please, Sony, for the love of God, let me design my own controller. It's my favorite thing about the Xbox controller is that you can go on to Microsoft's website and you can be like, I want blue here, and I want some red here, and I want to import this image right here in the center, and I want to do all this stuff. Let me design my own DualSense. I don't care if it's $100. Like, just let me design my own and get my own colored controller, and I will love it. But also give me a black one because I need traditional.
I think that a black one will happen. Um, I think that I did not think about it until you mentioned, by the way, a white console. So thank you for saving that for the show, because like that immediately I was like, yeah. Immediately I'm like, yeah, it's gonna match. And I wonder if Sony purposely put out this photo to get us psychologically prepared for a white PlayStation, which the test dev kits. I don't know. You've seen the test dev
Mhm.
kits for it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's that shape, but they were not all black.
No,
So
it won't be the same shape. It never is. Like, I mean, it looks better than a lot of their past dev kits that were just big PC boxes. But
tower.
some things to note that were on there. We already knew about the triggers being, um, I forget what the word is now, but
Haptic,
adaptive. There we go. Adaptive
haptic.
triggers where they
Yeah.
can program it to make it harder to push and all that stuff based on the game that you're playing, which is totally awesome. They also put in a built-in microphone though. I don't know how much I care for that. It better be turn offable completely. Like I don't need I'm one of those people. Whenever I play an online game, I don't have my microphone on ever.
Sure.
So that better just be you just better be able to disable it, and don't do anything like Nintendo did with the DS and put that as a part of a game where I have to like use that mic. Did you ever play?
Yeah.
Was it Spirit Tracks that put that in there?
I know I didn't. I didn't play that.
There was a thing. It's either Spirit Tracks or
Mhm.
Phantom Hourglass where you have to blow into the microphone on the DS as a part of uh, a game mechanic, and
Was 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 it like just like one section, or did it was it
it
repeated?
was a thing. Like it
Uh,
wasn't like a regular thing, but it was just a mechanic that existed in the game. But don't make it a thing that's a part of like just keep games. Keep my controller.
yeah.
Um, the speaker is still there. They did say that they got rid of the share button and replaced it with the create button, which is
Ooh.
just a share button, but they're going to go into that more uh, at a later date, closer to launch.
Sure.
And then there's your options button, which is already there.
Let's just
The
call it
only
what they are. It's a start button
Yeah,
and it's a share button. We call
yeah.
it the options button. Sure. It's a start button. Go on.
The only thing that I'm disappointed with is that we speculated before with the DualShock 4. They released the attachment for the DualShock 4 that I love,
Mhm.
with that adds the extra buttons to the DualShock 4. I was
Yes.
hoping that that was going to be built into the PlayStation 5 controller, but it does not appear to be.
I don't
And
think the
also, it doesn't look like
developers are
this
ready
one
for
will go with
that.
it too.
I think that's what it is. I think developers are ready for it to be part of the zeitgeist of gaming. We've settled on no matter which platform you're on. Now Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, if you're playing a game, it has two here. It has sticks, whatever you want to, whatever, but it has four buttons in the face. It has two shoulders each, whatever you want to call it. I think we've settled on a formula, and I think they're waiting for developers to say, okay, are we going to use that from a development standpoint enough to pay to account for it needing to be part of the peripheral, the main peripheral of a controller?
Kevin asked if it has a headphone jack. We don't know. They didn't mention it. So right now I have No idea, and we haven't seen the bottom of the controller.
Yeah.
I'm gonna assume, but at the same time, who knows? I did also like USB-C, baby.
Mhm.
Love it, love
Meaning
it.
the only thing in my house, sorry, other than this, I guess, all of my electronics that'll be carrying with me constantly, the only thing that's not USB C are my AirPods. That's everything else is USB C at this point.
Yeah,
So
I'm looking forward to. I hope. Not looking forward to because I don't know. By the way,
yeah,
I have no. I literally don't have any idea, so I have to correct
sure,
myself. I'm hoping that Apple converts their mobile devices to USB C at some point. Their iPad is. I'm hoping the next gen iPhone is. But my
yeah,
Switch USB
sure.
C, ready for USB C drives. Ready. I want it all because USB C is awesome.
It's wonderful, and I can say not that not that I'm speculating or I know anything, but with the laws that they're passing in Europe, with the advantages of USB C, I think that Apple could view that as saying, okay, this is where we're moving. Let's just make it ubiquitous. Of course, that's Apple, and Apple could just not do that. Um, I just could foresee it because of the market shift in Europe with the laws. I don't know if you saw that they passed a law in certain European countries where it's like your new phones that come out by a certain time have to be the same charger for all cell
Awesome.
phones. So yeah, so whenever that does happen, the idea is they didn't say the law does not say what it is, but the idea, I think it was through the EU, but I can't remember. But the idea was we want everything to be exactly the same. So if you need a charger, you can get a charger. In you know
Cool.
and in regards to having charging capable if you're in a cab or wherever you are, they want everything to be the same, which I think is an interesting idea, but it's definitely a good way to force people to adapt to USB-C. So we'll see if that happens.
Oh,
uh,
Push Square did some extra reporting
yeah,
yesterday and talked to Sony. There is a headphone jack.
okay. I was going to say I would I would have been really surprised if they were like, no, we're moving to Bluetooth. That would really surprise me
That'd be awesome.
because you have what's that?
That'd be awesome.
I'm not saying it would be bad. It would just surprise me because
Yeah.
you have a wireless controller. Putting a headphone jack in that's not usually that big of a deal. I'd like everything to go Bluetooth as well, but
Well, I mean, considering you can't Bluetooth anything to the PS4 without a dongle, that's the reason why I think it would be awesome. You can't use Bluetooth
yeah.
headphones on the PS4 right now without a dongle of some
Mhm.
sort. And so that needs to have they need to put that into PS5. If I cannot use a wireless headset via
Yeah.
Bluetooth like 2020,
Yes.
I'm gonna have a problem with that, especially when your DS4 is Bluetooth. Like the
Hmm.
PlayStation 4 controller is Bluetooth. I can connect it to my Mac right now. I have one that's
Yes.
connected to my phone right now. But for some reason, you can't Bluetooth anything else. You can't even Bluetooth the Sony PlayStation Gold wireless headset
Yep.
to the PlayStation 4. You have to use the Gold wireless headset dongle.
Yeah. Makes no
Makes
sense. It's only because they were trying to lock it in. They're trying to lock it in and be like, we don't want what happened with the PS3 and for everyone to just open it up and do whatever they want with it.
Yeah.
Um, so a little bit of good news, by the way, as we end our news section. Stadia, if you haven't tried already, Stadia, because everyone is stuck at home, uh, and with COVID and everything going on, Google Stadia is joining the ranks of offering free services, and Stadia is going to be offered for 2 months of Pro for free. So go out if you haven't already, go check it out. It's
Give it a
free
shot.
at this point. What's that?
Give it a shot.
Yeah, give it a shot. Of course, the game library is, we've been talking about how anemic it is, but honestly, being able to play anywhere is really cool. This is, I mean, essentially Google was the first to get out there into the market with something that I think everyone's going to have to going to gravitate towards eventually. Google happened to be the first of doing it, so therefore, of course, it's going to be clunky at first. I didn't have a terrible time playing. I
No.
just didn't like the games that were on there.
Right.
I was wanting to play games that were not that just happen to not be on there. But if you haven't played Destiny 2, if you haven't played Tomb Raider, there's some great stuff to play on Stadia. So go check it out for 2 months, Stadia Pro free.
Yeah, there is 9 games I believe that are currently offered on Pro, so you can play those 9 games for free for 2 months. There's still the other games that cost money. Don't do it unless there's like a super cheap deal or something. But
Yeah, exactly.
you can play Destiny 2. There's one of the Steam World games on there, which is apparently a lot of fun. I played a little bit of Thumper, which is like this weird on rails like rhythm type game, which is actually pretty fun. It give it a shot. The free's free, so if you have bandwidth, anyways, if you have streaming, or I mean, if you have data caps on your ISP, don't do it. But if you don't,
Yeah, I agree. And like I said, I didn't really have a problem. If you have a data cap, obviously that's a problem. Your download is more important than your upload for these. Like I said, I didn't have a problem with it. Don't purchase the games on there unless you really want to. The reason that I say that is this is such a new environment. This is a new ecosystem. We don't know what the future holds for it. So
yeah,
I have not purchased anything on it. I played the games that they were giving out for free, which were decent games. Like I said, some Tomb Raider, Assassin's Creed. I played Farming Simulator, which I realized I didn't like, so I didn't have to waste money on that.
the game
And I
made
didn't have any
no sense.
problems playing it. What's that?
The game was so like it had the worst tutorials. Like I tried to play Farming Simulator just to do it. I'm looking here. Grid's an okay racing game. SteamWorld Dig 2 and SteamWorld Quest Hand of Gilgamesh are probably the stuff. Gylt is the game that Google Stadia developed, so
Yes.
that may be worth checking out because there's never any time that you're ever going to check that out. So give that a shot.
Yeah.
Whatever. Again, the only reason I threw it in there is because free's free. I also didn't throw it in there, but HBO has some free content right now as well. You don't even have to sign up. You can just use their applications, or if you use like Apple TV or something and you search for an HBO show, some of them are free. There's a list, so it's not Game of Thrones or anything, but you can watch. There's some documentaries, and you can watch Silicon Valley for free, which I just started. There's a couple of other Veep, I believe you can watch for free. So there's stuff like that.
Yeah, lots of good stuff. And at this time right now, whatever you can do to help your sanity with what's going on, your physical health, your mental health, all of that is important. Video games, as the World Health Organization has now said, that video games are part of a healthy diet, if you will. I think these things are beneficial with what we're going through. So take the time to enjoy some, binge watch a show, and if you're binge watching too much, go out and take a walk. Do what you need to do,
Took a
to be
walk right
social.
before this podcast.
Yeah, me too. We took a walk with the dogs,
Yeah.
and you got to get out, whatever it is, even if it's walking around, because otherwise you're going to be doing this for weeks and weeks and weeks and feel cooped up. So definitely do what you can to get out there and enjoy your life.
So
And
weirdly, we're still recording on Zencaster, but it said Patrick left a call
yeah,
on.
mine said the call had ended, so I don't know what happened there. Technical difficulties happen, but
Oh,
anyways, I hope you guys enjoy your week. We'll be back next week, as we're always back, and we'll talk more gaming and definitely lots of Final Fantasy VII. So see you later.
woo! Have a good week.